you very much for showing up. It's really important that we show up on Memorial Day. We forget these monuments, they get dirty, they get old, but they represent something very important. They represent the sacrifice that a lot of people have made. So I also want to talk about the 75th anniversary of D-Day. It's coming up on June 6, 2019 because it ties right into Memorial Day. When D-Day is mentioned, a young generation draws from images portrayed in Hollywood movies like Saving Private Ryan. How many saw Saving Private Ryan? Practically almost every American has seen that movie. It's pretty powerful. It has horrible images of death, destruction, but still only safe images to a new generation too young to participate. For those tasked with storming the beaches of Normandy, the images are real memories of combat, of death and destruction, surrounded by 156,000 troops that deployed on that day. Some were tasked to hit beaches titled Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juneau, Sword. Over 11,000 aircraft and 6,000 sea vessels were in support of that mission. The cost of D-Day was 10,250 casualties. $6,603 were U.S., 2,799 United Kingdom, 946 Canadian, with a total of 4,413 Allied deaths and an estimated 4,000 to 9,000 German deaths. What for? Why did so many have to die? Simple answer, freedom. Freedom from tyranny. Tyranny is something I don't think Americans nowadays have any clue what it was like. But the fear in the heart of Americans during that time period, during World War II. We were fearful that the Japanese and the Germans would take over the entire world. It was a very scary moment in our history. Freedom comes at a cost, and sadly there are two competing narratives that are playing themselves out in our country today. On the one hand, there's the narrative, make America great again. On the other hand, there's a narrative, which disgusts me, America has never been great. I propose to you today that both of these narratives inaccurately define America. America is a perfect imperfection. America is a perfect imperfection because it imperfectly succeeds in nurturing freedom and granting its citizens the opportunity to advance like no other country in history or in the world. Similar to any family unit that strives to improve itself, it's comprised of saints, sinners, train wrecks, and architects. We all have someone in our family, an uncle, a distant relative, or even someone very close that has behaved or believed in a manner that is repulsive to us. Should our families be condemned for those relatives as a whole and deemed not great? Absolutely not. A family's successes are built on its failures and its mistakes. How could we expect anything less from a young republic comprised not of the same family members, but a growing, diverse community of inhabitants? There's no example of a group of Americans that know this best than those that have served in our armed services. Our armed services evolved from a segregated entity into one of the most diverse organizations in America, and I'm still serving, and it is incredibly diverse. Our armed service members know more than any other organization in America just how costly our freedom of diversity is. Americans have the freedom of religion, speech, and the opportunity to overcome poverty, prejudice, and to make a wonderful life for themselves and their families. Is every American able to succeed? No. Is every one of your family members successful through its history? Not likely. Why? Because life is not perfect. We're not perfect. And we can't demand of our country to be perfect, but we can only demand that it strives for perfection. Today I proclaim to the American, to you, the American, that America has always been great because it has a track record of improving, a track record of adapting, a track record of individuals that strive for greatness and results that follow. If we are forgetful of our greatness, if we begin to deny our shared history, good and bad, then we dishonor those that were and are still today willing to pay with their lives for our freedoms, to include speech. America is great and will continue to be great, so long as our citizens are willing to serve in our armed forces to protect these freedoms. These Legionnaires, they did it. Some of the Legionnaires right here, right now, they're still serving. They're still willing. That's what protects our freedom. That's what makes America great. You have the ability to go to any church you want. Just walk, go to Manhattan. There's every church under the sun. We are so blessed in this country. So today on Memorial Day, we remember the fallen. We remember the maimed physically, the maimed mentally. We remember that we are free because of them. We remember we have great opportunities because of them. Let us remember and not squander the chiseled path that they paved with their blood. God bless our fallen, and God bless America.